welcome to our product inspiration series for SAP Intelligent CX. My name is Kati, and today we have a special topic for you. Today we'll hear from Akshay about the new SAP Enterprise Service Management solution. Akshay, first of all, thanks a lot for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me, Kathy. I'm excited to be here and share more about SAP Enterprise Service Management.
Perfect. Let's jump right into it. SAP ESM basically is a holistic shared service engagement solution built on cloud-native technologies. Can you please describe why SAP customers should care about the new solution when it comes to finance and HR support processes?
Here are three main reasons, Kathy. Firstly, the product offers maximum automation and flexibility. This includes areas such as low-code, no-code configuration options, business flows and process orchestration, generative AI and machine learning use cases, and advanced analytics capabilities. We offer standard product capabilities for these topics and also leverage what the business technology platform has to offer. Generative AI is the new buzzword, and we have already implemented some applications of this, which you will see during my demo today. Secondly, we offer out-of-the-box integrations with SAP products. Currently, we integrate with SAP S/4HANA, ECC, and SuccessFactors. We plan to integrate with other SAP products soon. Finally, we offer pre-delivered scenarios for finance and HR lines of business to help our customers get up and running quickly.
Okay, thanks a lot. The scope of enterprise support processes is quite extensive. I would greatly appreciate it if you could provide some insights into the specific scenarios that our SAP ESM offers in the domains of finance and employee services.
That's a good question. We aim to build a solution with generic modules that can help our customers easily set up any end-to-end process. To demonstrate the product's potential, we have pre-delivered a couple of finance scenarios and a HR scenario. This includes invoice inquiry, payment advice posting, and general HR inquiry. We plan to deliver more such scenarios in the future for different lines of business in which SAP's solutions play a role. Additionally, we offer master data integrations for customers, suppliers, and employees with S/4HANA and ECC, as well as employee master data integration with SuccessFactors. These master data integrations serve as a backbone for setting up end-to-end processes.
All right, now that we have heard about why the solution is so critical to our customers and the scenarios it brings, let us finally turn towards readiness and customer adoption. How easy is it to implement the new SAP ESM solution, and where should our customers start?
All the configuration within Enterprise Service Management is no-code and can be completed with ease. We want to make sure that key business users in departments like finance and HR can manage their processes independently. At the end of my demo, I'm also going to highlight a few areas in our settings section to emphasize how easy the setup process is. To get started, I suggest customers analyze their current service delivery approach and decide which lines of business they want to streamline first with SAP Enterprise Service Management. Then, they should define the ideal state of their processes and realize it using ESM modules such as our case framework, forms, self-service, and business flows. To reduce costs and improve efficiency, I also recommend customers consider using our generative AI and machine learning use cases from the beginning.
Hi, in this video, let's look at a demo of SAP Enterprise Service Management, taking a finance scenario as an example. We're going to be looking at an accruals posting process for the demo today. Accruals are generally revenues that have been earned or expenses that have been incurred, which do not reflect as cash transactions yet. Generally, in order to post an accruals in the backend system, the local accountant would initiate this request over email or by filling up a request in a portal. Once this request has been initiated, a member of the finance team would validate the details provided by the local accountant, make necessary changes, send it for approvals if required, and once the request has been approved, the member of the finance team would post it in a backend system. This is usually an ERP system, so SAP S/4HANA or SAP ECC in our case. The journey for this demo would start from an employee portal that a local accountant would log into. And once they're in that employee portal, they would be able to view the self-service application embedded within that employee portal. Now, for the sake of my demo today, I've embedded this self-service application in SAP Workzone, but keep in mind that this application can also be embedded in other portals that a customer might choose, such as SharePoint. Once the local accountant has navigated to the self-service application, they would be able to view cases they've created, or they would be able to create a new case from the portal here. Now, let's say the local accountant wants to initiate a request for urgent processing of an accruals request. Once they key in the subject, they would go ahead and select the case type as accrual posting. And based on the case type that's been selected, you'll notice certain additional fields that are being displayed in my form. So let's say company code is information that's required for accruals posting. This custom field is displayed, and the local accountant would be able to pick a company code. They would also be able to categorize this request, and you'd notice that these categories are dependent on the case type that was selected by the local accountant. Next, the local accountant would go ahead and enter a description. So once this description has been entered, they would proceed to the second step. Now, in the second step, the local accountant is shown a form that's very specific to the type of request they're trying to raise. In this case, it's an accrual posting request. Hence, they see a set of header fields and line item fields, which would capture all the information that's required to make this posting. It's also possible to display a different set of fields to different types of users. Let's say local accountants belonging to different regions or different countries can see a different set of fields. Also, local accountants might only see a subset of fields in comparison to what a member of the finance team would see when they work in that request. Some of these fields can be made mandatory if required, and they can also have validation rules in place. So for example, the document header text can be limited to a specific set of characters. I'm going to go ahead and continue filling the details in this form. It's also possible to directly pull code list values from external sources and have it displayed on the form here. For example, the currency dropdown that I just selected isn't locally maintained in ESM. We make a direct API call to S/4HANA and pull the list of currencies that have been activated and have it displayed on the form here. I'm going to enter a couple of rows in the table here. And once the local accountant has entered the basic sales fields and filled in information in the form, they would go ahead and submit this request. So once this request has been submitted, you notice that case 1111 has been created. So once that case has been created, they see it in their list view and they're able to go ahead and review the details of that case at any point. So let's say the agent has made changes to the category or the description, all of that would be displayed here. The conversations tab shows the local accountant all the back and forth conversations that have happened on a request. And let's say the local accountant wants to communicate with the agent at any point in time during the life cycle of the case, they would be able to add notes from this section here. The Attachments tab lets the local accountant add or manage attachments, and the form that was initially filled by the local accountant while creating the case is displayed to them in a read only mode. Now, that brings me to the end of the demo in terms of what a local accountant would be looking at in their self service application. I'm going to switch over to the agent's view and show you what it would look like for a member of the finance team to process this request. So, the agent, who's a member of the finance team, would get to see a list of cases that have been assigned to them. That can be case routing rules that have been configured in the system that assigns cases to a particular team and also to a particular agent. Now, case 1111 that was created by the local accountant is displayed on the case list view for a particular agent. As soon as the agent opens the case, they're able to look at all the details of that case, such as the case type, the person who initiated the request, and also other details such as the description of the case. It's also possible for this agent to get a quick summary of all the conversations that have happened on the case. And this is a generative AI application that's available in our product. Let's say there were multiple back and forth discussions that have happened on the case, or if there was a lengthy description for that case when it was initiated, the agent is able to simply click on generate summary and is able to have a look at the summary of the case, saving a lot of time and effort. Once the agent gets a good understanding of the summary, he would proceed by working on the case. Now, you will notice a case designer on the top of my screen. It provides the agent with a series of phases and steps that they would be following as they work towards resolving that case. It kind of provides a guided experience for the agent while working on the case. And the steps that are provided as a part of this framework can include simple to-do steps where the agent is manually asked to review information or make certain changes, but it can also include other steps such as approval workflows or even triggering notifications to external systems. In an accrual posting scenario, one of the steps that are in the flow is to send out an approval to a particular member at a stage in the case lifecycle. You'll also notice that there might be another step to post information to an external system if required. So this case framework is powerful and provides the agents all the details that are required as they work in terms of resolving that particular case. Now, as and when the agent is working on the case, one of the steps would be to review the information that was provided by the local accountant. Let's say certain changes have to be made. They would go ahead and make these changes. And if the agent would like to communicate with the local accountant, they can either send emails or they can simply come in and add notes. These notes would also be visible to the local accountant on their self-service interface. Once the agent has validated the information and communicated with the local accountant, they would send this out for approvals, as I'd shown you earlier. And once they receive the required approvals, the next step would be to go ahead and either validate the form, and once validated, post it in the ERP system. Let's say it's S4HANA in this case. So custom action buttons can be configured in the form, and based on the configuration that has been created, the agent can simply select that custom action button, and once selected, this information can be sent to a backend system. In this scenario, I have a post button that's been configured, and once I select the post button, this information is being sent to S4HANA. There can also be made a link available within the form itself to display the posted document. So you can simply click on a link and the agent would be able to view that posted document directly in S4HANA. Once the form has been posted, the agent would then mark the status of the case to completed, and would then want to send out an email to the local accountant letting them know that their request has been processed successfully. They would navigate to the email section, and instead of drafting an email from scratch, we have another generative AI application through which the agent can simply select one of the available prompts and have an email drafted using Gen AI. So this email draft can directly be applied in the email body, and the agent would be able to make the necessary changes before sending this email out to the local accountant. So that would complete the accrual posting process. And just to summarize what we'd seen in the demo today, a request was initiated by the local accountant on their employee portal. They filled in basic case details and then filled in a form that was specific to this request, and they had initiated the accrual posting process. The local accountant then passes it on to a member of the finance team. The agent, who's a member of the finance team, is assigned a case, and they would follow a series of phases and steps as they work towards resolving that case. This may involve manual to-do steps, approval workflows, or even sending information to external systems. One of the steps would be to review the information in the form. The agent would make necessary changes to the form and then send it for approvals. Once approved, the final stage of the process would be to post this information to a backend system, and that would complete the accruals posting process. Before I wrap up my demo, I want to focus on how easy it is to set up all of this in the system for an admin, and I'm going to be focusing on a couple of areas. Let's look at the case designer, where the entire case framework is set up. So I'm just going to navigate to case types, and I'm going to open up the accrual posting case type that we used for the demo today. Let me open the one that's in draft status, and I'm going to navigate to the case flow. So this is where you'd be able to add multiple steps to each of the phases, or even create new phases if required. Now, let's say, I want to add a new step to the resolution phase, which says second level approval. I would simply go ahead and look at the different actions that I can perform. And if approvals is going to be one of the actions, I pick it and I'm going to give it a name. Once this is done, I would select an approval rule that's already been created in the system. I can also add preconditions to say that this rule or this step can only be completed if the preconditions have already been met. And once all of this is set up, I would just click on create, and I would go and activate my new case type. So it's that easy, to create a guided experience for the different case types that you have in the system. Now let's navigate to the form designer. And in the form designer, we have a very simple drag and drop experience for you to build your form that would be displayed both on the self-service portal and on the agent's experience. I'm going to open the accrual posting case type that we'd been looking at during the demo. And I again have a draft version here. So let's say I want to add another field in the form. Maybe this time it's a checkbox, and this checkbox is, going to say new posting, so that a local accountant would select it if it's a new posting, else would leave it blank. It's that easy for me to add a field. And now let's say that this field is required. I would simply have to select a checkbox, or let's say if it is required only for specific conditions, then I can go ahead and open a rule engine where I'm able to easily add conditions. So I can say that if, let's say the category level 1 equals Z01, then I want this field to be required, else it's an optional field. So in that form designer, we follow a no-code experience where you can simply drag and drop fields to the form and then specify the properties for that particular field. This brings me to the end of my demo. Thank you.
Welcome to the world of SAP Intelligent CX. Our comprehensive suite of applications seamlessly integrates front-end and back-end systems, providing a unified and streamlined approach to managing customer interactions. We incorporate artificial intelligence that allows your team to work smarter and faster, and our industry-tailored use cases and partner ecosystem empowers organizations to deliver extraordinary experiences, build lasting relationships, and drive sustainable growth. Our composable SAP Customer Experience Suite enables leading brands to understand and protect customer data, increase lifetime value with personalized journeys, close more business faster, drive consistently profitable commerce outcomes, and deliver automated and agent-assisted service. Learn how you can deliver extraordinary customer experiences. Visit sap.com/cx.